Hey everybody, welcome back to another Halo Infinite video on the channel. Today's video we're going to be talking about the latest update that has happened today, January 28th. So a new post on Halo Waypoint. 343 has put out a post discussing kind of the state of the game as well as upcoming updates and stuff, and what's going to be happening with Halo Infinite. And they address a lot of the major issues the community's been having with the game this last week. And before we get into the details of this, I just want to say this is actually really cool, and I do respect 343 quite a bit for this, that within the same week that they are addressing these issues. You know, people are saying like, hey, we're still having problems with big team battle, and 343 is coming out saying, you know, giving specifics on all of this. They're not just being like, oh yeah, you know, it'll be fixed at some point. They're literally coming in here and being like, hey, we are putting out an update on this day, like you'll see in just a second. And then they're even talking about like the shop, like, you know, even on Tuesday when the shop got updated, you know, there was major discussion in the community. The community still wasn't all that happy with that, and they discussed that in here too. So I'm really happy 343 is doing this, and to me it shows that they really truly do care about this game and about the community. Like, obviously they're a business at the end of the day, but at the same time, like, they're really trying to make this game the best that it can be. Whereas, you know, developers of other games and other series and stuff, like a lot of stuff, when, you know, big controversy and stuff goes down, we don't hear a peep out of them. You know, there's literally, they do not say a single thing about some of these things. Or, you know, maybe the issue is like big enough and just kind of like stays around long enough that maybe they'll put out a tweet or something being like, hey, like, we're looking into this, and then that's about it. That's as far as it goes. But yeah, I just gotta say, I think 343 is doing a good job with the communication here, so let's get into this and see what they say. They say, hey y'all, we're back with another weekly update. This time we wanted to provide more info on Big Team Battle, continue our conversations around the shop, and more. Let's get to it. So first up, they talk about Big Team Battle status update. Using the telemetry we received from the hotfix on January 19th, we are able to make a new build with an update that we believe should address the core issue impacting the Big Team Battle playlist. The studio ran a successful playtest today and plans to send it off for certification on Monday. After it's sent off, it will take some time to go through the certification process and to find out if it's approved. Once it's approved, we will begin preparing to release it to the public. Since there's still a little more of the internal release process to go through, the earliest we'd expect this hotfix to land would be next Thursday, February 3rd. So, potentially Big Team Battle will be fixed on February 3rd when this update potentially comes out. I do like that. Like I was saying, I think this is great. You know, they're literally going through like, hey, like, you know, we're sending it off on Monday, and then it has to go through a certification process. The soonest that can probably go through is like February 3rd. And I'm like, dude, that's crazy. That's awesome. You know, I do like that honesty of them being like, hey, you know, this is how it goes. This is how the development process goes whenever you're putting out an update. And I really like that. So it's, you know, completely awesome for the community. That's fantastic. Hopefully this is it. Hopefully they will solve the issue here. But I don't know. They're trying, and you know, you at least got to give them props for that, right? And then the next big topic they talk about here is the shop updates. They say, this week we rolled out individual items for the first time in the shop, and we've been paying attention to the feedback covering everything from the presentation of items to specific pricing. We've seen the desire to have bundles, while making the individual items within it purchasable on their own. This is not something the shop supports right now, and we're evaluating our overall presentation to see how we can better meet the needs and expectations. Through the rest of Season 1, our focus is to provide a better offering of individual items and bundles to help players get the customization they would like without having to buy larger bundles. Our quick shift post-holidays was in recognition that we were not delivering on value, quality, or price. The offers we are running now, and will continue to run throughout Season 1, are to help us learn what is working and what's not. This will take time, but we know that our learnings here will positively impact Season 2 right off the bat. There have also been some questions about how and if previous bundles would return to the shop, and right now we're looking at this on a bundle by bundle basis. Some bundles will come back into the rotation, some will be broken up to allow players to purchase their individual items. We'll have more info to share on this in the future. And yes, the cat ears, aka perfect audio helmet attachment, will make a return to the shop again this season. So sometime within like the next 3 months, we're gonna get the cat ears again. So for all those of you who have missed out on buying the cat ears for the first time, it should come back in the rotation, and also should be cheaper as well. So that's, I don't know, good for those of you who love running the cat ears. So another change they made earlier this week is that Behemoth CTF was removed in ranked. They say earlier this week Behemoth CTF was removed from our ranked playlist for the time being. If you're interested in learning more about the data and player feedback, you can, they say, check out this thing on Waypoint. I'll link that in the description. You guys can read that. But I don't know, it was a big thing. A lot of the community was like, hey, like, we hate playing CTF on Behemoth in ranked because of the BRs, is essentially what it is. I don't know. I've played quite a bit of ranked. I didn't mind Behemoth CTF. I thought it was actually very fun playing on that map. But for some reason, the community had a big problem with it. I'm not sure why. I personally liked it. I think that, it was one of the better game modes to play on that map. Like, Slayer on that map kind of sucks. Even Tactical Slayer kind of sucks on that map. But CTF, I think, is perfect for a map that size. It's freaking awesome. But, I don't know. Community obviously had other reactions to that. And they said that, they're removing it for the time being. So it sounds like it'll be coming back at some point. While it is being fixed, I guess. I'm not sure how they fixed that. But, yeah, it is what it is. And then lastly, they talk about Cyber Showdown's Neon Screen and Neon Hawk armors. They say eagle-eyed players noticed that these two armor effects were absolutely perfectly aligned with their Spartans' helmets, spurring some light-hearted memes. Don't worry though, we've busted out our levels and protractors and get these centered when Season 2 rolls around. Again, thank you for continuing to provide quality feedback day in and day out on Halo Infinite. We see it all, and we're acting on what we can quickly while also taking stock of what we'd like to target for larger updates down the line. I hope you all have a good weekend, and we'll see you online. That's a good blog post. That is actually really good, and I think developers of other games should kind of take note of what 343 is doing and really go, wow, this is great. They're doing a great job here and really communicating heavily with the community here. I mean, even in the very last one, as they talk about that, they're like, yeah, it's spurring some lighthearted memes. Yeah, they recognize that community, clowns on different decisions and different things that they do, and then they acknowledge it too. And I think it's also, this whole development process, like, I'm not trying to, like, shill for them in any way, but I do got to give them, props and give them respect for what they are trying, is that, there is significant issues with the game, but it's largely a process of, okay, well, what needs to be fixed right away, kind of putting resources where it's needed the most. So obviously they need to have people working on content for Season 2, you have to have people working on, like, fixes for big team battle, so it's like, where are our priorities here? Something like this with, like, the armor isn't perfectly centered and, it isn't, like, perfectly aligned. That's like, yeah, they acknowledged it. They're like, yeah, we'll have it fixed within Season 2. Yeah, it's a few months off, but at the same time, it's like, is that really something that the community wants them to just drop everything and fix that one thing right now? No, I'd rather have big team battle working first. So, it kind of makes sense in here. And, I just very am excited and happy to see 343 truly caring about the community here. And, it shows that, hey, if the community has an issue with something, 343 will at least see it and acknowledge it. And I do like that. And like I've compared with other developers, the community can make a big old stink about something, and the developers might never acknowledge that. Whereas at least 343 hops in here and is like, okay, here's our stance on this. Yes, we're gonna fix this, and whatever else. So like they'll actually talk about it. So it is nice to see the community actually gets recognized, and that we kind of have a voice in what's happening with this game too. So keep the feedback coming. This is all working and trying to help shape a better game. And overall, I think it's just, it's a great thing. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think Halo Infinite still needs to do better? Let me know in the comments down below. Give the video a thumbs up if you have enjoyed, and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.